Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. We got a sick pup again. Woke up this morning stretching. Hasn't come downstairs until now. Didn't want to go down the stairs, and I stepped on her tail. So 37 degrees, so like 3.5 degrees Celsius. We're in the positives, and I elected just to go with a hoodie. So do have the hand warmers. Yay, got them back. Found them. I don't know what they're on. Oh, that's on one. Cool. So, give her a walk, and hopefully she'll cheer up a little bit from getting outside. That's the game plan. So I thought they were working on an apartment. Nope, they were building a crossover because the tenant fell on the ice that they didn't bother shoveling. So self-inflicted injury. Now they get a beautiful bridge. I'm sorry, but your parking space, you are supposed to clean around your car, because the plows don't ever get in here because people don't move their cars like they're supposed to, so that never gets cleaned up. Yeah. This is why I continuously clean when the snow hits, and salt, and get the ice gone. So, which I'm going to be paying attention to here a little bit, because it's still pretty cold outside. 37 degrees isn't the warmest day in the world, that's for sure. But back to normal camera programming, back to the Action 5 with the Mini. Playing these out as well to see, if I like them. I just feel like, the nice thing is the fact that you don't have to take dead cats off, and if you have the full kit, you have to put them back in the bag, or you have the potential of losing them. And I think we might have ice here. So it is convenient that you can keep them on in the case for the Action. For the Minis versus the 2s. I feel like they sound really good. I mean, when the train went by yesterday, that horn was loud. I mean, you could hear the train, which is nice. You could hear the dam, but you can also hear me talking, and there was some wind yesterday. So they work. They definitely do work. But anyway, 1 to 8:30 tonight. Manager is no longer with me, it looks like. It looks like I'm back on my own for closing shifts. So it'll be back to chaos. And like Terry and I were talking this morning, what he's not understanding is him being a dedicated person running around boxing the store is not what I have when I'm there by myself. So I'm going to do the best I can, but if I'm shopping orders, and then when they make this order shopping from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m., it's just going to get worse. Oh crap, the salt. Get off onto the grass, puppy. So anyway, that's it. But Brian had his interview yesterday, so he's no longer with the hospital, which, that's going to be a rude awakening for him financially, because the hospital pays pretty damn good, and he'd been there quite a few years. I think like 5, maybe 6, maybe only 4. I don't know. I lose so track of time. When I try to think back on time, I have to think about when we've had the dogs. Priya's about to be 7 in August. Mateo's almost 9 here in May. It's crazy. It's crazy. 9 years with Mateo. But time sure does fly by, that's for sure. And I got puppy hoods for both of them all mapped out. I'm almost getting to the point of elderly for Mateo. Oh, you're going to go potties? All right, I'm going to let her do her body thing. And I think the vet's probably got customers by now, because it's a little bit after 8 o'clock. The video is exporting, 8:19. Got up at like 6:13 this morning and kind of procrastinated, but got the video done. Did a little bit of a night test up in my room, which is actually this morning. So trying to, get everything done up with that thing, and at some point, I think my return period is quite extensive with my Total Tech, which I am contemplating on. There's no way of picking that up. Priya definitely does not feel good. I knew yesterday her potties were disgusting yesterday. It is nice to be able to get out and just be in a hoodie. It's not windy right now. If it was windy, this would not be enough. I'm glad my hands would be freezing. So yeah, this is definitely more my speed, my style, is the smaller cameras. The gimbal is a lot to hold, and The fact that the lenses do not switch, I don't think they switch in 4K at all. I think you have to go to 1080 for the lenses to switch. That'll be a test I need to try. Because I know when I did one of the races with the gimbals, I didn't have a problem with the lens switching, and it was clear. Then when we did Clinton County, was that 2 years ago now? That's when I really was ticked off because I had really crappy footage. And I looked back at the video that I used the gimbal at Bloomsburg, and it didn't do that. So if you're going to do like sporting events, to stop the recording and start it up in the other lens is just not feasible, and to lower the quality to 1080 to make it work is just silliness. So I don't know. There's always this issue with, you know, getting the lenses on the phones that can do them normally by itself to be able to do it with with other devices. It blows my mind that it can't do it. So they need to figure that out, or maybe Apple's locked them down that they're not allowed to make it better than their camera. It's cloudy. Like I said, noon. We're supposed to get some rain until later in the afternoon. That'll make curbside fun. And over this way, it's just kind of cloudy. So, yeah, I was watching a Philip Shenko video, Sherpka. He was doing a tracking test with the DJI Flip. He was using one of these big cameras with multiple lenses and no stabilization. Nauseating footage. I couldn't watch but a few minutes of video, and I had to shut it off. And I'm like, why are you, please don't use that camera that has no stabilization for the talking head. You're making me sick. And his reply back was authenticity. What authenticity? That your life is shaky? You're in California when you're not? I'm like, okay. And other people are like, why are you not using the Pocket 3 for talking? That camera just, no. Well, looks like the vet's not quite open yet. Maybe they open at 9. You wanna go sniff the vet? You wanna go sniff the vet? You're loud, Ken's. Never heard of Ken's Disposal. They must be new in town. I don't know, maybe they're not. Maybe they just got a nice painted truck finally. I've never heard of them though. All right, get the princess over, let her sniff her vet for a minute. And then, look at her. She's like, I'm going over. I'm going to go sniff doggies. You do? Yes. She's a happy pupper now. She's a happy basset. Happy basset. Thank goodness for hand warmers. My fingers are getting a little chilly. Okay, you left your mark once. How many times are you going to leave your mark there, princess? Oh. And when she doesn't feel good, I like to get her out and try to let her do her thing. I think it does help her psyche a little bit with her belly not feeling good. Sometimes a walk fixes her and she goes back in and eats, and other times not so much. Oh, sniffy, sniffy, sniffy. Oh yeah. So what are your guys' opinions? I mean, what do you think? Is the OM7 something you guys are interested in? Do you think it would be worth keeping in the camera bag? Personally, for me, I mean, if the zoom was a, you know, consistent working device in the 4K 60 range, I could understand it. But, you know, the things that I would use it for would be, you know, the races and whatnot. Even though I have that tripod and I set everything up the last time with the Sony. So, I don't know. I don't think for me, it's like I said, it's just too bulky, too much camera to be walking around with. And there's just too many little issues. I don't know that they're open but they are sitting there at the desk, so I'm trying to get her away from the doorway in case anybody shows up. We can be away from the door to let people get in. They're looking at me funny because I'm talking to a camera. Oh, I don't think Jersey comes down until the 2nd. I don't know. It's kind of with it only being a 28-day month. It's a little bit weird when his next appointment is, but I know it's not until March. You a Christmas present, Priya? You're under a pine tree. It's a big pine tree. That would not fit in the house. I think we've had a Christmas tree 1 year with her. The last couple of years, it's just been the little ones. I just have too much stuff to put one up anymore. Yeah, you sniffed the other doggies really well. Good job, Priya. Ooh, the bag just smacked the camera. Oh, I've done low angle and it smacked it again. Let's go over here. You're okay. Come on. I'm right here, Bubby. You okay? Oh, yeah. I'm ready for this warm up. 46 degrees today, I think we're supposed to get to. No. Yesterday was nice. If it wasn't for the wind, yesterday would have been a lot nicer to be out in. We survived it, but it was breezy. Definitely waiting for the 50 degrees and whatnot. Get kind of off track, but yeah, I'd like to hear some people's opinions on the OM7P. Back in the day, I would have been super happy with that unit. Not gonna lie. I mean, the fact that the mics and stuff, it would have been right what I wanted. And nowadays, with all the stuff that's come out, I don't know. It's just it's late to the game, in my opinion. The ability to use the back cameras with the controls facing you is just such a, Insta360 obviously did the flow, which spun around, which I thought was going to be a great device. Of course, I had issues because you're supposed to be able to hook the mics to it, but you couldn't hook my whole equipment to it. I overweighted it. So that just didn't work out. Yeah, to me, it's just a little late to the game for what, where it should have been. So it's competing against, these other devices. In reality, it's not designed to do that. Tim keeps saying, well, it's really not. You're competing a dedicated camera with the Action and the Pocket 3 and the Ace Pro. I don't even want to say the GoPro because they might as well just throw the towel in and, just not even bother anymore. In my personal opinion, it's kind of funny because Tim was saying that on our trip the other day. It's like, anytime anybody refers to an action camera, they say GoPro, because that was the original action camera. But they've given up, in my opinion. If you're a phone vlogger, or I don't even want to say the word TikTok because I don't even know what's going on with them. I don't do it. I don't pay attention to it. If you're doing shorts, it could be a really neat thing. You can use the native app. You can, use any app, camera app, with the tracking, with that little module, which is what the concept is. So you can move around, do little dance things, presentations. There's definitely areas where that thing could come in very, very handy for you. But for daily vlogging, in this day and age, there's so many other options. Granted, like I was saying yesterday, if you're on a budget, $149 versus $669 for the Pocket 3, that would be the closest equivalent. Priya, that's gotta hurt rubbing your butt against concrete. She's having problems. She got not good boom booms. Come on, get away from that boom boom. You don't need to be sniffing another dog's boom boom. You know what I mean? It's just, if it's a money thing, now you're going to want to invest at least $99 into the microphone. I don't know if I didn't even look if DJI actually makes a kit that does a mic 3 or a mic mini with it. But it's kind of insulting to the ones of us that have bought the mic 2s that it doesn't work with it. Could there be a software update in the future that makes that work? Yeah. Why didn't they already do it is my question. So, it's kind of insulting. You'll have to let me know if I'm off base on that. I just feel like something that is what they pushed for almost a good, well, the Pocket 3 is over a year old, and the mic 2s came out with it. And now you make a new device that doesn't connect to them. It's just mind-blowing. You come out with this little itty-bitty mic, and oh, we're going to connect that only to it. That's bad business. I mean, granted, it took them a little while until the Action 3 or Action 4 connected to the mics, and it wasn't great. They've come a little long ways because with more and more firmware updates, it connects better than it did when it first was, you know, connecting to it. But I don't know. Companies always want to sell the newest thing. You know, they want you to buy more of their product. I get that. But for those of us that, you know, buy into their system and buy the better of their systems, because the Mic Mini is not considered the professional mic, the Mic 2 is, it should have connected to that transmitter, the tracking transmitter or receiver, tracking receiver as well, in my opinion. And what I never realized with the Pocket series is that microphones actually came with the 2 and then of course the 3. I don't know about the first gen. So they had a microphone out long before the original mic, the DJI mics. They already had one. Didn't work with anything else but the Pocket. So with the introduction of the Pocket 4, will the Mic 3 be brought out, or are they pretty settled in their ways with the Mic 2 and the Mic Mini? Because there's times when things stop coming out. That'll be an interesting little tell too, to see what happens if a new mic is going to come out with the new Pocket, whenever that happens. And there's some really weird concepts of what that's going to be. Personally, I don't see them putting the Mavic multi-lens cameras on on a Pocket. Oh, this is fun. All right, I gotta walk across the ice here. Oh shit. Okay. Good thing for this bush being here. I'm hopefully not gonna fall on my head, and we're safe. Can you make it, Bubby? Oh, you can make it, no problem. But this is where I've been coming from for the last month or so. Tim was telling me that there is possibly 2 DJI Action cameras coming and a 360. I don't think they're gonna do like Insta360 with multiple action cameras. That just seems very unlikely. But you do tend to see companies follow suit with other companies as you go. I mean, look at Apple. They used to have one phone. Now you've got 5 phones from Apple. You've got the, you know, the E, the standard 16, the 16 Plus, the 16 Pro, and the 16 Pro Max. Granted, it's a size difference, but that's what Android does too. But, you know, you're trying to get every range of consumer affordability, even though all the prices keep going up. All right, definitely turned the camera off there in between, so snappy response with the minis. The 2s are really snappy response with the Action 5. I'm not gonna lie, this is the newest, so everything seems to work fastest on this camera in particular. Getting little man out for his walk. We're just gonna do the full lap because he likes to go up and around. And if I see the gentleman that wanted me to do photos with him, I gotta make sure he's got my number right, because I'm pretty sure he got my phone number wrong. And you know, then the weather went to complete crap with the snow and the cold and the wind. So I'm sure he thinks I'm ignoring him, but he doesn't have my number. He hasn't contacted me. So I saw him leave, so he doesn't normally leave for long periods of time. But I do want to make sure he knows I'm not ignoring him and that phone number was the problem. Something else I was just thinking about while I was walking Priya with the camera off is, you know, these camera companies, Sony in particular, I mean, I don't think Canon's come out with any more really vlogging cameras either. They switched over to like the ZV-10, which is an interchangeable lens camera. But the last like real point and shoot camera they came out with that I was interested in is the HX99. Came out right around the time the RX 100 Mark 7 came out. And I've been really curious about that camera more recently. I was curious about it then, but the 720 millimeter optical zoom is, 120 more than my RX 10, but it's on a smaller sensor. These kind of camera companies, I understand they don't want to have something that's going to take sales away from their big cameras, but what professional is really going to use a tiny little point and shoot camera? It's for us, more amateur type people. Put a camera out there that has the features that you can, affordably buy it and start off with, and then migrate into the bigger stuff. But 2018, you're talking a 7-year gap since anything has really new come out. In my opinion, that's too long, and very short-sighted on these companies. Alrighty, old man, his walk here. He's already done his business. I was thinking the treats I gave him the other day, they've been in the car a while. I thought maybe they were not good, but Mateo's not having any problems. So you'd think the little dog would have gotten sick faster than the big dog, but Priya does have belly issues. But normally it isn't like what it's doing right now. I don't know. Well, gotta sniff everywhere. Oh, does a dog live there? You have to mark your territory? He's funny. Oh, yeah. What will tonight bring? Oh, I have associate till 4, then another associate comes in at 3:30. Then after the manager leaves, probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's just 2 of us on a Tuesday night, so we shall see. If curbside is busy, it's going to be a real fun day. I gave Priya her low angle. Geez, I couldn't even talk. It's been a rough morning with sinuses and congestion. I apologize. And getting out in the cold air, which is good for me. I need to get out again. I can't wait. If I start seeing where it's going to get warm and stay warm, this beard is gone. I am much over it. I ran into a former manager from Walmart last night that retired. He's like, I didn't recognize you with the beard. It's like, it's wintertime, dude. Every year I was there, I grew it. Hell, I think since 2013, 12 or 13 or 14, I don't know. It's been years every winter I grow up because of the no shave November, and then I realized that, hey, walking the doggies makes it a lot more comfortable. What do you think, man? Come here, come on, we're going this way. This way, come on. He goes, we never did this way. Well, now that Jackass has moved out, we can go this way. Really like tempting ice, don't you, dude? He's sliding down the hill to be a light ball. You silly little dog. You silly. Yes, you are. Well, I'm thinking I'm going to keep this vlog short and sweet, so this walk will probably be the end of it. Just so I'm not having to... Because really, what happens after I go to work? Nothing. But I do want to show you, I did get the room finally cleaned up, and it looks much more spacious than it did, I think, with this particular setup. The TV being pushed back, the cabinets being switched around, it definitely makes the front of the room seem way bigger than it was. So, and I'm just glad I found the hand warmers and the remote to the moon so I can get that on. The white was a little too bright for me, so I changed it to like an orange moon. It's not as intensive when I'm trying to sleep, but it gives me light in the room now. So finish our walk here, I'll show you the room, and then we'll get this day wrapped up. All right, almost done with the walk. Gentleman came home, so I finally just approached him. I didn't know if he was on the phone or what he was doing. I just, wanted to make sure he hadn't messaged me, and he said he hadn't yet because he's still waiting on stuff to come in. So that's still a good thing. We're still in good terms. Alrighty, get this room shown off quick, and then get this video wrapped up, get it maybe imported and even edited before I go to work, and have a little bit of time to relax. You know, I'm kind of thinking that might not be the best thing for me, getting out and doing this stuff now that, you know, it's getting a little bit warmer. Might be better for me to go to work and actually have some energy being out in the fresh air. But it's just like being in the house and being cooped up, you just get like very, very tired and just lazy. It's not the warmest day out, but it's definitely more comfortable than high winds and teens. So, all right, enough rambling. Let's show you this room and call this a day. Alrighty, guys. Just got the hammock back in my car because I'm pretty much banking they're not going to bother calling me ever again. But room is looking a lot better. We have 9:25 a.m. so I have plenty of time to get this video done up. But yeah, just feels a lot more spacious. So, and I think I'm going to actually trim this piece of cardboard as a crate topper. So if I want to set stuff on there, it can't fall down into Priya's crate. I did switch over to the Oakley kitchen sink bag again. I struggle with backpacks. It's a matter of having enough space, especially at work. If I do have my Aldi's bags in there, but if you know, if I only get a couple little things that I need to bring home, I can put them in my backpack. If we're gonna go do an adventure, it can fit the tripod. One day, eventually, maybe I'll keep looking for a carbon fiber tripod that is maybe slightly smaller than that one. We'll see. I don't want to pay a fortune for a tripod. That one cost me enough. So, but something that is compact and fits, even if I can hold it to the outside. So, but yeah, that is a big backpack. It is kind of cumbersome, but nonetheless, it holds stuff. And, you know, there's a lot of little pouches. When we do adventures, I can fit, right now I have the batteries for the Pocket in here. I have the batteries for the Action 5 right there, that in the charging case. Medical stuff over in that side, which I want to try to find a little like medical pin so I can mark this side with that. I'm sure they make something with like the little medical icon, just so I know where I know which side I'm going to. I mean, I should know, but that way if I say get something out of my bag, I can just look for the medical marker, and that's where Band-Aids and Neosporin and you know, Zicam, pain pills, all that stuff is in. So, alrighty guys, well thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. My little take on, you know, the gimbal. It is charging again. It's so I'm actually putting it in the on little case to keep it protected. But yeah, nice thing is you technically, now when it's charging, this is why I disconnect this, because when it is charging, which it is charged, but you can actually leave it together like that, because this one faces out, whereas the 6, this piece faces in. So that was one change they made as well. They did beef up the size of the buttons, the screen, the dial on the side. I don't think the joystick is much changed, but this, the switcher button, the record button, and the mode button are all bigger, so is the screen. Trigger is about the same. It's got nice little grippy things on it, so. But if you have like a little case or something that you can stick it in, and you have the mic minis. Now I think with the mic minis, I don't think I can keep that together. I have to move it around. But yeah, you can have a nice little case to keep everything together and travel with, and then pull it out when you need it. The nice thing is, you know, it's the one flip up now instead of unlock it and then flip it up. But you got to make sure that you have the phone facing away from you, otherwise you're turned the wrong way and it won't. There's actually a little lock lever in there. The USB-C port actually switched sides, and it will now, this one, whereas the 6 doesn't, they took it away for a long time, is this will actually charge your device. This doesn't seem to charge the device. I don't know why I heard it chime that one time at Harrisburg, but I thought it heard it chime, and it was showing it was charging, but I haven't noticed it since. But anyway, all right, thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. As always, have a good night and stay safe. you.